Don't be embarrassed, and trust me, don't be ashamed. Everything you say to me, baby, is confidential. I know this is really intimate stuff, but let's talk about debt. Coming to you again with more help is your Get Out of Debt guy, your man with the answers to solve all your financial worries. Your host and debt expert, Steve Rode.
Hi, this is Steve Rode, your Get Out of Debt guy. In fact, you can even follow me on Twitter if you're on there. I am Get Out of Debt guy on Twitter. Easy to remember. Calls come into my automated line. People leave messages, and I always answer those messages first. And I just got a call from Candy, who had a question. If you have a question you'd like to ask, please call me on my automated line. The number is 919-321-2378. 919-321-2378. Let's listen to what Candy asked.
Hey, buddy. You're listening to the Get Out of Debt radio show, and if you don't remember that this ain't legal or accounting advice, I'll have to hurt you. For real legal advice, find yourself a lawyer in your state. Got it?
Hi, Steve. This is Candy. You have been extremely helpful as we are trying to negotiate our current situation. I have received a letter from Creditor's Interchange pertaining to Bank of America credit card debt. Is this a legitimate company? That's my question. And how should I deal with them? That's the second part of my question. Thank you.
Well, Candy, Creditor's Interchange is a recognized and legitimate company. I believe that they're actually out of Canada, but they have offices and they're licensed in the United States. And if you got a settlement letter, it probably came from a Buffalo, New York address. Now, it's unclear whether or not Creditor's Interchange is actually collecting on behalf of Bank of America, or they might have actually purchased this debt if it was charged off from Bank of America. Either way, if you have a settlement offer and you can make that payment and you agree to the offer, then consider making the settlement payment. If they're agreeing to settle it for, say, 30% of the debt or so, that might be a really good deal for you. Now, it's very important to remember that you need to keep that letter from Creditor's Interchange offering you that settlement. It says what the amount is they're agreeing to settle. And keep that letter with all your other very important papers. It's not uncommon for a creditor to come back 3, 5, 10 years later and say, we never agreed to settle. If you can pull out that letter and prove that you both made the payment and this is what the offer is, the deal will be dead. The other consideration is if the settled debt is more than $600, it will be reported to the IRS as a forgiven debt. If the person who is making the settlement is not insolvent or not insolvent after the debt is settled, then you could have a big tax liability that you owe the IRS. Forgiven debt is treated just like income, just as if you had made the money. You got it in a paycheck. You have to pay income tax on that at your personal income tax rate. So it's something to consider. If you don't have the money in one lump sum that you can pay to Creditor's Interchange, and you'd have to make monthly payments, well, that's a different matter. If you can't make all the monthly payments, the deal will be dead. But I suspect that since you got a settlement letter from Creditor's Interchange, they're looking for one lump sum payment. Candy, I hope that helps. I hope I was able to clarify it a little bit for you. And if you have a question, you're listening right now, and you would like to ask me, it's simple. All you have to do is pick up the phone and dial 919-321-2378. 919-321-2378. I always answer all recorded questions before I get to the written ones. So if you have a burning question you'd like to ask and you want to get it to me, this is how you do it. Call the automated line, and this is your Get Out of Debt guy, Steve Rode. Candy, can't forget your big virtual audio hug. That's for you. Thanks for calling. Good day, everybody.
Thanks for listening to another Get Out of Debt show with your friend and mine, Steve Rode. If you or someone you know would like to submit a question for Steve to answer, just visit our website at getoutofdebt.org and fill out the question form. And while you're on the getoutofdebt.org site, be sure to subscribe to the show feeds and, what's that, Steve?
Remember Twitter.
Oh yes. Follow Steve on Twitter at GetOutOfDebtGuy.